Good morning, everybody. My name is Sahat Sitorus. I'm Minister Counselor of Economic of the Indonesian Embassy in Brasilia. I'd like to firstly uh, express the sincere regrets of my ambassador that he should be actually here with you all today, but for some reasons that we have a group of deputados this morning. Uh, they engaged a meeting with Brazilian deputados in Brasilia. He regrets for unable to be present in this event. Actually, I have prepared a very long speech for him, 7 pages, but 5 pages of the speech actually very technical, and this 5/7 will be later on be presented by my colleague, the expert from the Ministry of Forestry, because the substance of the speech actually very technical. So now I'd like to read the speech of Ambassador as he asked me to do so, and just the opening and the closing. I hope that this methodology will be accepted to you all. Thank you very much. Can I start now? It's okay. You make it simple. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, let me first express my sincere hope and gratitude to the organizer for inviting me to this timely event, which I believe is the first time of its kind here in Brazil. I'm pleased to be among friends like you all, professors, experts, journalists, environmentalists, and businessmen in this important gathering, and being able to address the event on forest issue. My presence here in this forum today truly manifests and shows to you a clear commitment of Indonesian government to continue working seriously and closely on the preservation of what we call clean, green, and sustainable environmental, including forestry sector. We are all aware that a preserved, clean, and green environment would contribute significantly to our common endeavors in minimizing the impact of ongoing world concern, namely global warming and climate change as well. Preserving green and sustainable forest has been widely accepted by international community as one of series of prerequisites of supporting the achievement of global common concern itself. However, we are confident that a common efforts with all friendly countries and international communities concerned under a comprehensive global agreement on forest preservation should be continued and attained. For our part, Indonesia has committed itself to be proactive, to be part of the global solution on green environment and forest preservation. As part of our unilateral commitment to substantially cut our greenhouse gas emission, we are using our natural resources as a rainforest country to serve the global community in its mitigation efforts. With an equally committed partner to addressing deforestation, forest degradation, and conservation, in May 2010, Indonesia went into partnership with Norway to implement REDD+, as we know it, reduction of emission from degradation and deforestation. And similar to what Brazil government has engaged and committed earlier before Indonesia did. Guests, ladies and gentlemen, Indonesia believes that the implementation of REDD+ provides effective way to help addressing climate change. REDD+ does not only protect biodiversity, but also promote the livelihood of forest-dependent communities. More importantly, it can also open up alternative development pathways where economic growth can be achieved without degrading the environment. This must be kept in mind as we approach the Rio Mais Vinci summit next year to be held in Rio de Janeiro. Our experience over the past year has, however, shown that the realization of RED Plus is not easy process. It requires not only a strong leadership and partnership on both national and global level, but also a change in mindset and willingness to go beyond business as usual attitude. For Indonesia, the unwavering commitment and leadership of incumbent President Susilo Bambang Yudhoyono has been a key point in the implementation of RED. This has allowed us to make great strides in strengthening institutional framework and capacities for the implementation of RED Plus. Success in implementing RED Plus also requires for all stakeholders to work in concert. Partnership and cooperation between all stakeholders and national level, as well as between developed partners and the forest countries is central. This is particularly true as the resource mobilization needed for RED Plus is considerable. Indonesian team hold a technical visit on RED to Brazil on September in 2010. I was there too, with a view to conduct a feasibility and case study on how Brazil government and experts dealing with RED program under the partnership with Norway. The team, including ourselves, had also met high-level of government officials, including Minister of Environment of Brazil, Madam Teixeira, and visited Amazonas State as a pilot project of REDD Plus in Brazil. We also met several NGOs, some friends from the international environmentalists, NGOs dealing with environmental matters in Manaus, Amazonas. I'm delighted to inform you that my government's serious and heartened commitment under Indonesian RED Plus partner, also with friendly countries, shown as a positive result of the effort. Their commitment does not only contribute to Indonesia's forest conservation and development, but also toward global efforts to addressing climate change and the attainment of sustainable development, including through forest conservation program. Still very long, but I'll take the gist in order to avoid too long conversation, right? So, ladies and gentlemen, in addressing the forest preservation issue, Indonesia also hosted several meetings on forest issue. Among others, a meeting of countries of tropical forest owner we called F11, Forest 11. Members of F11 are Indonesia, Brazil of course, the biggest one, and Malaysia, Congo, Nairobi, Colombia, Peru, Costa Rica, Gabon, and Papua New Guinea met in October in 2010 in Jakarta and discussed a number of important issues regarding the management strategy of tropical forests in the world. The leaders of F11 agreed to importance of increasing cooperation among forest nations largest tropical forest owner in the world in facing the challenges of deforestation and forest degradation. The impact of the meeting related to the environmental is which tropical forests can be maintained in world carbon emissions, although not yet entered the discussion of climate change. The forum strengthened environmental diplomacy, especially the Indonesian forestry issues. Forestry issues grows increasingly prominent in international discussion lately. The forum agreed on the decision to increase international cooperation on concrete and useful forestry sector through sustainable management. Just recently, last September 2011, Governor of Kalimantan of Indonesia, it is the Indonesian RED Plus pilot project similar to Beleng and Manaus, has hosted a governor's climate forum attended by score numbers of prominent forest and environmental experts, including those from para states a RED Plus pilot project of Brazil. Now, in further addressing its forest conservation program, Indonesia has promulgated and implemented various regulations, namely timber or wood legality verification system, we call it as VLK, and voluntary partnership agreement TPA. These two issues later on will be taken care by my colleague, Mr. Teguh, who is expert on this issue. So let me go further to the conclusion. Ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, I would like to convince all of you are present here in this forum that the Indonesian government, as well as forest and timber-related industry, are committed to and aware of the global concern on the significance of keeping the world green, and therefore have been working seriously, locally, nationally, and internationally, in preserving its forest evergreen. I'm confident that every single government in the world has an obligation to keep the world green, and we can only reach our common global agenda on green and clean world by working together in a close partnership for the benefit of our future generation. Indonesia, under a score number of bilateral and multilateral undertakings, shows strong commitment and always ready to work together, particularly under the purview of F11, Forest 11, including with Brazil, to achieve a common agenda on global forest concern, to keep the world forest safe and well preserved for the benefit of all generations now and into the future. Finally, let us put our hands together to save our forest green, and let me again wish you all success in your future endeavors. I thank you. Thank you very much. Muito obrigado.